Subscribe to Awaaz today. Click on the bell icon for latest national and international buzzing news.
Good evening, friends. I am Aarti Saur, CEO of PreSchools, and I welcome all of you in today's session, Ask the Expert series. And today's session is very, very special because this is the last session of our first season, our special pandemic season. Because of pandemic, we started conducting this every Thursday Ask the Expert series, where we were inviting all these industry stalwarts from the mental health profession. And that has been really, so successful that after every session, my chat box and my, phone used to be full of your messages and Thanksgiving especially, and very touching and very, very warm experience we have received. Many of them, they came to meet me in my office also post, our sessions, and they found so many answers to their queries. So this is our last session because we thought, let's take a break for Diwali. And more than Diwali, we realized, now people have accepted the fact that Corona is going to be there with them for some more time, and they have now adjusted to the new normal. So we will be coming back, of course, after a break. And today's session is very, very special in another way also, because it is reopening of preschool. And the topic is, we all know that medical research suggests that COVID-19 is not a children's disease. But I'm sure that our children has been very badly affected because of this pandemic. They are not able to go out. Their schooling is completely gone for a toss, and especially our preschoolers. And their developmental milestones have also gone for a toss. Their social, emotional, academic development is completely, at a standstill. So we thought, why not, and of course now people are talking about reopening everything. It's unlocking almost everything has started like a normal thing with, of course, social distancing and all the precautions. But what about schools, and especially preschools? Because there is still ambiguity in the entire, preschool space. So we thought, why not, let's find out from our experts of this preschool space, and not only from India, but also, globally, what's happening in preschool. So today I'm really fortunate again, to have all these stalwarts from preschool space, that is early childhood education, and they will be joining me from all different places from the world, from different time zones. So I welcome, first of all, let me just introduce all of them to you. That is our first is our own Rupa Miss. Rupa Miss, she is Rupa Dhruvari. She is head of pre-primary Father Agnel's multipurpose school and junior college Vashi. So she is head of Father Agnel school, but right now she is joining us from Dubai. So it's another place, another country. So I welcome Rupa Miss to this session. And you must visit Rupa Miss preschool. It is really, so wonderful. It's full of creativity, just like how she is. And she is also winner of Gloria D'Souza Excellence Award for the Best Educator. So I welcome Rupa Miss, a warm welcome from all of us. Now I introduce you.
Hi, everybody.
Yes. Now I introduce you to Miss Fatima Ali. She is the headmistress of MLC, Head MMI International Teachers Training Institute, Kenya. And I was fortunate enough to again, visit her preschool too, and it is a state of art. And Fatima has been very closely associated with us, very good friend of mine, and Kiran's very good friend, of course, because of Kiran, I got her, introduction. And she is also Gloria D'Souza Excellence Award winner. So I welcome Fatima, welcome to our webinar.
Thank you.
Yes.
It's a pleasure.
Yes. And thank you so much for joining us from Kenya. Okay, now here comes our own Kiran Datta. So she has been all her life, she was a preschool teacher in India, in Mumbai. And for 5 years, she was with PreSchools. She was handling our preschool department. And now she has moved for good to US, and she is joining from US because she has also started working there as a preschool teacher. So she is joining us from Texas, that is preschool teacher, Primrose School of Grand Peninsula, Dallas, and she's joining from Texas. So I welcome Kiran. I'm sure you have to get up early to attend this webinar. So thank you so much. And it's really, really wonderful to have all of you joining from all different parts of the world. So let's have a rocking session. It's our last session of this season. So I would really like to, know, and in fact, so many, almost 100 plus our teachers and parents, they have joined us today. So all are really wondering about, the fate of preschool. सब लोगों को बहुत चिंता है कि ये अभी preschool का होगा क्या, because I'm sure आप सब लोगों को भी पता होगा कि जिस तरीके से even government and educators and preschool, there has been a more, I can say, a chaos in under preschool, especially in India. So let's find out, what's happening all over the world and how they are managing this pandemic situation for preschoolers and what are their plans about reopening. So my first question is to Rupa Miss, to you. So how was your reaction to pandemic with respect to your preschool? And what strategies you designed to continue education during lockdown? So over to you, Rupa Miss.
Yeah. Hi, Aarti. Hi, everybody. See, this happened very suddenly. We had an open day on the 14th of March, and 15th of March, we got our news that schools will be shut till the end of March. It came as a big shock to all of us. But then, somewhere we felt that it will reopen. It will reopen at some point of time. But none of us, like everybody else, didn't understand the enormity of the situation. All right. But then, as you say, as Mother Teresa says, some events happen in your life as blessings, some are lessons. So, in everything and in every event in your life, you have to take it as a lesson. The moment the school shut down, we had a meeting with our teachers, of course, by WhatsApp calling, because it was lockdown and we couldn't step out. So we said, we have to get connected to our children because we hadn't said bye-bye properly, So we hadn't wound up school yet because preschools were going to be shut only on the 30th of March. But we shut before that. Teachers were very upset because they wanted to meet their children. I'm sure parents also didn't know how to handle the situation. So we contacted father, and father said, what are your plans? I mean, we discussed with father that we wanted to do WhatsApp classes. We put all the parents on WhatsApp groups in nursery, junior, and senior KG. Of course, the whole school came together. Our IT department person helped us to conduct classes. So what we did was, the last portion of the academic year, we made videos. It was not easy. It was not easy at all because teachers had to overnight learn things that they didn't know about at all.
Right. Yeah.
They had to, not only make videos, but compress it. So that was another important thing that they had to do. They had to compress the video. Now, they had to, many of the parents didn't have, laptops for children. Parents didn't have, iPads for children. Families had only one mobile or two mobiles in the house, which the parents were using. And it was not, it was not very friendly for this kind of a thing. And some of the parents had moved to their native town. Now, how do we, if we go in for any particular kind of thing and at a particular kind of slot, say, suppose we say we are going to do online classes between 8 and 9, what would the parents do? Because the office may be working between 8 and 9. So how would they see this? So we said, okay, the best option is to choose videos. And I must tell you, number one, Our parents are very open. They were very accepting to the fact that we were coming. In fact, some of them were so overwhelmed that we were going to post videos to them so that they can show these videos to children. And children were learning at a good pace. They were very happy to see their teachers. Number two, the management was very, very cooperative with us, and they told us that we could go. Number three, and most importantly, Parisar Asha syllabus is so child friendly that you could use these videos. You could make these videos at a very easy pace. You know, teachers who had a lot of sound technical knowledge helped the others. So there were a lot of elements coming together to do this. I won't say it was very beautiful, but it was not very smooth, but it was comfortable. It was very good that my teachers didn't hesitate even for a moment when we said you have to make videos at home. They said, okay, fine, we'll learn it, we'll do it. So these were the elements that came together. And so we managed to run online classes or video classes till the 15th of May. Starting from the 10th of April till the 15th of May, we managed to be in touch with our parents. And believe me, parents were so happy with this whole thing because all came to them very suddenly. They had to be staying at home and they didn't know how to handle these things. So this is how we managed the whole thing. But also, lesson that you learn from this, we took our environment for granted.
Yeah.
We took our technology for granted. We took our time for granted. And then this came as a lesson to us, say, stop. Now you have to give time to your children. Now you have to be with your children. For parents also, this is a different kind of learning. So I feel many of the parents were pretty happy that they could spend a lot of time.
Wow. So it's, I think, wonderfully, I mean, you people managed that entire pandemic situation,
Yes.
which was all of a sudden. Because I have seen so many other schools, because we work with so many schools, so they were completely shattered. And many a times parents also, of course, I won't blame parents completely because they may be out of jobs, they may be having so many their own challenges. So
Yes.
definitely, I mean, we have been also helping these schools, but we could not reach out to all the schools, and there are certain I'm sure there are so many schools who are still, you know, like in that kind of conflict. So anyways, thank you so much, Rupa Miss, for your valuable, you know, inputs on how you manage this pandemic situation for your preschool. So let's come to our Fatima ma'am. And yeah, I think we are all really curious to know what's happening in Africa, you know, like how you people managed in Nairobi, and especially in your school, like how your schools are coping over there. So if you can tell us even about your school and in general, like in Africa, what's the situation?
Yeah. So first of all, thank you so much, Aarti. It's an honor sharing the platform with two women, Kiran and you, who are both my role models.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and you've been chosen for women leaders, 500 global women. That's wonderful. Congratulations, Aarti. That's
Thank you.
really
Thank you so much.
So I'm honored. And Rupa, I don't know you very well, but I know I've heard so much about you, and state of art, I'm sure you're really creative. It's wonderful to have you share the platform with all of you. Well, in Kenya, in Africa, if you call it, in Kenya, we don't live on trees, just in case you people think we live on trees. Aarti's seen that. And I'm heading a private school, a private kindergarten, where we had a very serious meeting when it was global and we hadn't been touched yet. Everybody was suffering and we were saying, it's going to be us next. And we had a very serious meeting with the Kenyan International Association of International Schools. And this was a Friday. And we said that, okay, we're going to continue like this. And as it is, we were going into a break. And we were good to go because we were only going to be open for 2 more weeks. And come Sunday evening, we hear the announcement on the TV that our president says, no schools from tomorrow. It was as sudden as that. It was just lockdown, complete, close. Everybody stay at home, panic. You know, a lot of because I've been the head of Montessori Learning Center for about 22 years, I personally know a lot of parents. So they had my personal numbers, and that's a good thing, yet a bad thing. So it was frantic calls. What's going to happen? What's going to happen? What's going to happen? But just like Rupa said, my teachers were amazing. And I used to call myself technologically challenged, honestly. If you come to my office, now I told you I'm using my daughter's laptop. I don't have a computer. I like to work hands-on. I'm a very tactile person. So when we heard that, I'm blessed to have a partner in professionally, Mrs. Gilbert, who's head of prep of Montessori. She turned me into tech savvy in 2 weeks. I mean, it was like from here to there. I can generate my own meetings now. I can do this, and I can be in every classroom that I want to. So we took to Google Classroom when we came back. But for those 2 weeks, what we did is my teachers came to school on Monday. We WhatsApped everybody, just like you did, Rupa. We also made videos. In fact, we made exercise videos and singing videos, and and telling them we're going to be back soon, not knowing how long we were going to be away. And it was like, next week we'll be seeing you, or when we come back in April, we're coming back to school. These were unprecedented waters. Nobody had ever walked in them. So everybody was really forthcoming. Well, there were some parents who were, not so positive about what would be the outcome. But yes, those ups and downs is what keeps you going, yes? Because in the ICU, when the line is straight, means you're dead. Right? You don't want to be dead. You want the up and down. And it's exciting. I love to live on excitement. I live on the edge anyway. Kiran will tell you that. So what we did is, for those 2 weeks, we created physical packs as well. So we did week 12 and week 13. We did individual packs for 230 children in 2 days. We gave them timings to come and collect those packs, and we gave it to them. But when we went back in April, we were completely trained. Our admin as well, Mrs. Dodia, the owner of the school, and our board was amazing, because all the teachers got their laptop. We had the, Wi-Fi, strong networks, Google Classroom, Google Meets, and a curriculum in place with physical packs and online meets, completely scheduled. It was so beautiful the way we went into online learning. And the most beautiful thing for me to see was that a 2.5-year-old going like this and said, "But teacher, I want to come to school, Mrs. Ali. When can I come to school?" And that was heartbreaking. That was really heartbreaking. But we told them that if you want to come back to school, there are a lot of things that we will need to do. I think we'll talk about the irreducibles later. Just now, you only want me to talk about this. So, but it was really, nobody knew what was happening. So everybody was on the edge, but everybody was playing along their part very well. So in Kenya, I think, we have a lot of tech-savvy people. I think I'm one of the older senior citizens that was technically challenged, but not anymore. But I think our program has run beautifully. It's run very beautifully online. But yes, there is that mental and emotional, drawback that we will always feel about. So I think we'll talk about that later.
Yeah. But Fatima, what about the other schools? I mean, this, you're talking about your own school. I mean, it's a private schools anyways, but there are government schools also, right? Yeah.
Oh, government schools, it was so sad, because they have no laptops. Some of them don't even, in the villages, you don't even have network. They don't even have radios. So they tried to have community, gatherings where they would teach each other. But honestly, the statistics were frightening, because just one county alone, in the time that we were closed, had 4,000 teenage pregnancies. It was a very sad situation, and it still is. because we still haven't been able to reach everybody in the villages. So statistically, private schools did much better than public schools, and a lot of children who were given the chance to talk about their feelings on air and air their opinions were really upset that they had to go away from school. They thought they would be safer at school.
Okay. Thank you so much, Fatima. So
Welcome.
yeah, it's always we have that curiosity, like what's happening, other side from different parts of countries, not countries. Now we are talking about global. So yeah, coming back to not back to now, I'm talking to you, Kiran, right now. So yeah, you have lived your life in Mumbai, in India, especially with us, and you have been, like teaching in Mumbai schools, and plus you have been also associated with Parisarasha for 5 years, and you have actually seen, we work with so many different categories of schools. So you got that experience, exposure, of interacting with those schools, and also training the teachers and everything, and now going to the US and their teaching. So I'm sure it must have been a completely different experience, isn't it? So if you can tell us about your experience and how that pandemic situation has been handled in US.
Yes, Aarti. Good morning, everyone. It's, I think, 7, almost 8 over here in the morning. Thank you so much for having me on the Zoom chat, Aarti, today. Thank you so much for introducing me. And yes, for almost 3 decades, I have worked with pre-primary. And then I joined Parisarasha. And my big hello to all the Parisarasha friends who are watching me and my other friends. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for introducing me to Rupa. And my best friend, hello, Fatima. Nice to have you over Zoom chat. As you know that I have been working not only in India, even in Mauritius. And now this is my next place where I've come here, and I'm going to be here forever, I think. And I felt that I cannot be just not doing anything. So I'm so used to being a teacher. So I joined this preschool called PreSchools, Grand Peninsula, very close to my house. And there, also answering to your question, that the society here, America, is a absolutely rule-driven society. So here, when they had this pandemic spreading, they all did not show so much panic. They could control everything, and they could, follow the CDC, which is called the Center of for Disease Control. And these people had sent all the formats to all the schools, whether they were private, they were public, or they were preschools and daycare. And these schools had to follow strictly all the rules of the CDC. So when I remember when it started, I have a very bad story. When they actually started in March, they shut down the school, but till May there was kind of quite a peaceful thing because there was panic at the same time. But the schools kept connected with the children, as in the schools started sending emails, making kind of trips by by car, the kind of teachers with their personal cars they were driving through with the balloons, with the chart papers, and encouraging the children that they should not get panicky. They should not feel that, oh, we are left out. No.
Kiran, you would like to show those photographs here?
Yes. Do you have those photographs? Yes. Yeah. Please show them.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
So that was seeing the pictures, you can know that the children, the grandparents, and the families, they all were quite, confident that one day the school will reopen and they will be called, back. But it was quite uncertain. So now working with Primrose, I must say that Primrose never shut down. They continued working. I mean, the strength of the Primrose School is 160 in the normal time. But at this time, they had just not more than maybe 35 children. Now, these parents were the essential workers, and they're so used to having their children sent to school because we don't have a real support system as we have compared to India or Dubai. We have the grandparents to take care, or maybe the servants, but these children were regularly going. But CDC was keeping a good follow-up with all the schools, daycares, the private schools and the public schools. I also can tell you about the elementary schools over here. They provided free laptops to all the children. Can you imagine? They did that so that the children come on online. Now when the school shut down, actually for the summer vacation, that was the time the technology started working. The teachers, they put all their curriculum online. So they started working on that. The teachers also had to be trained that when they are working, they should not be hackers or they should not be unwanted guests entering the virtual classes. And then they also give a choice. The parents were given the choice because since we follow CDC, that if you want to go for in-person classes or you want to go for the virtual class. Now, my grandchildren, they go for virtual classes because we do not want to take any risk. So that was the elementary school, but Primrose continued. Primrose is a school which is, kind of a daycare too. So all levels of children come there. And these children don't have to wear masks because this is not, pandemic is, or this COVID-19 is not contained in that little level. When the children are, say, about 10 after 10, you can wear masks. And the children were feeling absolutely safe till the parents, kind of calmed down. The parents were not allowed to enter the premises. They were supposed to be just there at the gate. And the children got upset at those 2 weeks. They were crying. They were a little restless because of the not being parents in the classroom. And then the drop-off was little kind of, challenging. And all that was then managed by the heads. So they stood out. They had the QR system. It used to come on the phone. The office people would come out. They would take the child in, and a lot of sanitizers are used. Lot of disinfection is used in all the toys and everywhere. The teachers are keeping a distance. Plexiglass is used in most of the places. So these are the precautions taken, which are still maintained, and we are still running the school very smoothly.
Wonderful, Kiran. That's
Wonderful.
Really amazing.
It's like it was a learning experience. Seeing the videos, when you saw those videos, we all came out to see, and things are all given on drive-through. Everything is drive-through. We don't have to personally go and be in touch with people or, forget about the 6 feet of the distance maintained. And so things are not bad in Texas, they're not bad. But New York, of course, it has been bad because it was like Bombay, not following the rules. So if we talk of the school, they are quite comfortable. Parents have taken it quite well. And there were some parents, of course, now there are not many children, there are not more than 100 children coming to school, but they are regular, And I've been working regularly every day, yeah.
Okay, wonderful. So
You.
great. So somehow all 3 of you managed to continue with education for our preschoolers. So let's talk about their mental health, because I'm sure academic can be possible through a Zoom or online classes, or, you have been taking a lot of efforts to continue that. But what kind of efforts has been taken by your school for actually, taking care of child's mental health and even I can talk about parents, So is there any particular special kind of initiatives your schools have taken? So the same question goes to all 3 of you, and the serial, maybe first Rupa Miss, then Fatima, and then Kiran. Yeah, Rupa
Sure.
Miss. Yeah.
Yeah. When we are talking of mental health, which is the most safest place for the child to be in? The most safest place their
His
home,
home.
their parents. I think in the first few months, say March, April, May, till the end of June, till the lockdown was partially lifted, all the kids had their parents at home.
Right.
So that was the best treat that children could have had, because if you see the average now, Aarti, as compared to before, you could say earlier on, when I started working in 1988, 89, the number of working parents was very small. You could say 20% had both the parents working.
Right.
You know, there was constantly mom at home or some grandparent at home. But now, after so many years, after 32 years, I can tell you, 90% of the parents are working. So children, how much of time do they get with their parents? Very, very limited. Like I said initially, some come as blessings, some come as lessons. This has come as blessing to children that parents are with them all the time. So I feel, very parents are very fortunate to have their children with them, and children are really blessed to have their parents with them all the time. That is the first area. The second comfort zone for the children is the school and their teachers. Now, when we started regular video sessions for our children, see, we were always of the firm belief that gadget viewing, any gadget viewing, according to psychologists, should not be more than for 20 minutes a day.
Right.
But now what are we doing? We are putting them in the camera for more than and we are telling them, you have to watch this. And tomorrow the child will turn around and ask you, all these days you allowed me to watch videos. Now why are you stopping me from watching after a few months, isn't it? So we said, whatever lessons we do it in the video form. But now the lessons started going in a form where the teachers were talking about the skills that are going to be imparted through that particular lesson. So their mental health and their physical health, along with the regular lessons, were taken care of. Now, the most important children here, most important age group was the nursery age group, the 3-year-olds who have never gone to a formal school ever. This was the first time they were going to enter the formal school, and poor things, they never came to the school. So we had to contact all these parents and we asked them to log in through Microsoft Teams. We have Microsoft Teams. We are following Microsoft Teams. So all the lessons, the first few months, if you see our lessons, they are still online. If you see them, they are catering to the mental and physical health of children. Parents are very satisfied. Children are satisfied, and teachers also are doing something very different from the usual stuff that they do. So automatically the 3 areas are taken care of. Yes, I know that teachers had to really struggle because they had to learn technology over time, overnight they had to learn technology. But then, since we have a very good group of teachers who are willing to help each other, mental health, physical health, and the regular lessons were taken care of. So I feel we didn't have to do anything very different, because parents keep messaging us saying that our children are so happy with that. And then what we did is, we found that, my teachers wanted to meet the children. They wanted to talk to the children. They wanted to see them, and obviously children would want to see their teachers, not on video, but personally kind of. So we had chat sessions. We have 50 children in every class. So we have 900 children in our kindergarten.
Wow.
Yes. So we had 10 children a day talking to the teachers. We gave them time slots, and these were chat sessions. We didn't do any lessons in these sessions. We chatted with the children. We said, we just talked about things in general. What do you like to eat? What do you like to do? Who's your friend? What's your favorite toy? And things like that. Now, we are going to have a Diwali chat session again now. So this is going to be very, very different, because Um, they are going to tell us what they are going to do for Diwali. They're going to come in their traditional costumes, and they're going to show the sweets that they have made at home. So this kind of thing, keeps them their mental balance, and at the same time, parents are also happy that teachers are in touch with the children, and children also know that their teachers really like them. They're not somebody who's just on a video, watching them, but there is somebody who is going to talk to them and be with them. So this is how we are managing.
Great, great, wonderful. So yeah, now over to you, Fatima.
Yeah, mental health. Honestly, I think this was a blessing in disguise, and I call it the best period of my life.
Oh, okay.
The best period of my life. The amount I have learned in this period, I don't think I've learned this much in my life of. I give away my age just now. In my life of 61 years, I have not learned this much. It was thinking on your feet, and like Rupa very, very beautifully said that, I mean, it was the best for the children to be with the parents at home. But yes, was it the best for the parents to be with the children at home? You see what happened at the moment, like you said, in the time that you started working, Rupa, and from now, there are both parents working, and 90% of them, you're very right, are working. It's global. Yes. Everybody's working.
Right.
And we're not working to make ends meet. Yes. We're working so that we can have our extra health, our extravaganza. Yes. When I look at my kitchen, when we first shut down, and a lot of people lost their jobs, and a lot of people had pay cuts. A lot of people went through mental health this thing. But when I used to speak with the parents, we're lucky we don't have 900. We have only 230, so it was easier to handle. So we would be talking with parents who said, what do I do? How do I do it? And I said, sit down for a moment and think, what do you have in your kitchen? How many dals do you have in your kitchen? How much water do you have in your house? How many clothes do you have in your house? How long can you live on those things? Can you live at least she said, no, I've got about 20, 30 kilos of rice. I said, you can live for 3 months. You can live happily for 3 months. If I had to compare our lives with the lives of the people in the village who are more forgiving to nature than anything else, we brought it up on ourselves. We did abuse nature for a very long time, and now nature has started talking to us.
Yes.
So we've been stopped in our tracks to rethink. The 4 R's that they say: rethink, reduce, reuse, and recycle. We've been stopped and said, think what is important in your life. If I had to give you a good job and I had to give you children, what would you choose? Honestly, any parent would choose children, but they don't think like that at that time. So the mental health did affect for a while, until when everybody realized, hang on, this is going to go on. It's not stopping. It's the new normal. But the children, honestly, for the first 2 months, they were very happy. And then slowly, they started revealing online, like you have your chat sessions. We have chat sessions every other day, because we can do it with 230. So every day, at the end of the lesson, there are about 4 or 5 children who are given the time to talk to the teacher. The helping hands stay behind online, and they can talk about anything. So usually I tell them stories on Thursdays, the top class and the other class. On Wednesdays, I tell them stories in the afternoon, and then they would start telling me, do you know, my mother gets very angry. I want to come back to school because she gets very angry when I don't do things. So I said, but mommy's tired. We had sent all our house helps away because we can't have people coming in and going out. So actually, I think what the problem was for mental health was that we were not ready for change.
Yes.
We adults find it so much more difficult to accept change than children do. children adapt to change like this. And honestly, when the government said we were hoping to open schools, you remember Aarti was telling me we were opening on the 26th, and we were guns blazing, you know, everything. We had 94 irreducibles from the Ministry of Health and Education that we had to cater for. And we had an inspection and we scored very high and we were set to open on the 26th. So our tables were distanced socially, and we had called in, you know, for 2 or 3 weeks. What we had done is we were calling individuals. Now, each class, because the ratio in Montessori is very low, it's 8 to 1 adult. So we used to call one child per adult into school. But before that, what we did for the parents is we called them 6 at a time, Mrs. Gilbert and I. We called them and we set them outside in the field and we gave them an orientation. And we told them, because people are very unforgiving of sudden changes. But if you prepare them mentally, they accept change faster. And if they see the good for their children and themselves in it, they support you. So I always find that, you know, because we all want the same thing. You want the best for the children, the parents want the best for the children.
Absolutely.
And of course, we want the best for ourselves as well. So what we used to do, what we did is we gave each and every parent had the chance, 6 parents at a time, had the chance to be orientated with the situation of what will happen if we come back to school, how it will work. So we called in children at least for 2 hours, once in 2 weeks. So each child has already been in school to know what the cross means. You can't sit there. Sit here means you can sit. Children can't read at 3. But they all know. Now if you tell them, they're all coughing into their elbows. And they're all sneezing into their elbows. Even the World Health Organization says they don't have to wear masks. In Kenya, it's a must to wear masks. Not for the little children. But the children say, Mrs. Ali, I have to put on my mask because I want to come to school. You know, and I say you don't have to, but I have to. I have a shield here. Can you see this?
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah. I have a shield so that the droplets don't, you know, it's passed through droplets.
Yes.
So I have a shield and all our teachers have a shield too. So they have their mask and they have a shield. When they're speaking with the child, they're not hovering over the child. So all this was done. The training for the teachers was done thoroughly, and we were all ready to open on the 26th. And suddenly the second wave hits us. You know why? Because of irresponsible adults, like she said. You know, when the government is, you know, puts their foot down and gives you a directive, they cannot do everything for you. The government cannot do everything for you.
True.
Each one of us needs to take that responsibility. If each one of us washes our hands, keeps the distance, and, you know, is careful. We don't have to sanitize all the time. Like I said, I don't like sanitizer very much because it's got a lot of, you know, chemicals in it. But washing of hands is something that the World Health Organization has been talking for nearly 40 years now. But nobody has taken it seriously. So Mother Nature just peeked in on us and gave us a poke in our back and said, wake up. This is a wake-up call for humanity. And honestly, mentally, what we did as well, we spoke with each other, we spoke with our teachers, we spoke with the parents, we spoke with the children. The children that we could not touch were the children in the villages. But I had my dream come true last week when I went to Nanyuki at Old Jogi. I think our director, our project manager must have put it on Facebook, I'm not sure, or on our website, that we have partnered with Old Jogi Nanyuki Primary School, and we went to set up Montessori there. And I had a chance to talk with children socially distanced, and we in the village. And one day I wanted to walk back home because I said, how far is the manager's house from here? So the headmistress there, Halima, she says, in Swahili, she says, dakika kumi, it means 10 minutes. So I said, okay, let's walk home. So she walked, and as soon as we reached home, she said, oh, good, we didn't meet any wild animals. And I looked at her and I said, why didn't you tell me this before? You see, what you don't know doesn't hurt. So, I mean, it is such an amazing thing when you go to the villages. These people care about people, they care about nature, they care about themselves and others. If we had to have an education system where we're not only teaching English and maths and science and biology and geography, we're teaching humanity.
True.
We're actually teaching and practicing humanity. We will not have any mental blocks because we will be prepared for change. We need to change our thinking. We need to take this as a warning. If we do not take heed now, we will never take heed. And who's saying this is going to be the last pandemic we're going to suffer? These days, the emission of fuel, the emission of, toxics, the carbon footprints that we're setting on the world, the things that we're doing, I mean, there are times when, we used to go in the jungles and watch the animals. These days, the animals are, poor thing, they're peeping from their houses, watching who's come to watch us. It's like the neighbor has come and put a tent in your house and say, I'm going to stay here. It's actually stepping on people's spaces and animal spaces. If everybody, literally, if all of us took it seriously, this is a serious message. For any mental health condition, if you're able to train yourself to think well, you will speak well and you will do. I'm not a motivational speaker, nor am I a Sadhguru or a BK Shivani. But honestly, bottom line, the only person you can train is yourself. So if each one of us takes responsibility and not depend on the government to do everything, we will be laughing at the end of this. And yes, we did dancing with them. We danced with them on video and we did such a lot. And we saw fathers joining in. When fathers would never be at home before. It would be only mothers coming to the meetings and things like that. But these days, the fathers are bang on behind us. And it's a wonderful thing. The best learning period of my time.
Great. Wonderful. Yeah, but it was anyways like Sadhguru's session, Fatima, I must tell you.
Really?
So much enlightening.
So chuffed. And don't let Sadhguru hear that, huh?
Yeah, please. Yeah. No, inspiring. Like he's an inspiration anyway. So I mean, even I'm also a follower. I mean, I listen to all his speeches. So definitely, whatever is from wherever we get inspiration, we have to follow that, and we have to take care of our mental health. And in fact, that's where Parisar Asha has been, practicing this for past 3 years. It's a free mental health helpline what we are running with the great support of Capgemini. The numbers we will be flashing later, but it's completely free of cost service because we realize that you can, teach them language, math, whatever, but unless and until you teach them, to take care of their mental health, our children are never going to be happy in their lives. So, coming back to Kiran, now it's your turn. Please, you can, throw some light about the kind of, initiatives your school has taken for mental health.
Yes, Aarti. So, special measures have been taken in the same way which has been done globally everywhere. But as I mentioned, the CDC, as Fatima said, personally, we need to, individual must think that how to take precautions. But there has to be a, government control over people. And that helps a lot, when you follow the rule. And I said, as America is a rule-driven society, and they think for the people, and each human being's life is very valuable over here. And so, as I said, that the parents were not allowed to enter any school premises, and they have been using, there is less chaos because the moment parents come, children start crying, and there is a kind of a stress in children as well as, and then media and news all over is talking about this pandemic all the time. So there was a stress kind of thing all over America too. But it's very individual and how the schools have been working upon that. These car parades were very useful for the elementary schools, But for the preschools where the children were asked to, come and be comfortable and all that, and all the staff was always helping them, wearing masks all the time. And then hand hygiene is not just because of the pandemic. In America, hand hygiene is really a big etiquette. As Fatima also said, that you have to cough or sneeze over the elbow, which has been always over here. In fact, once when I went to the bank and I saw this officer talking to me, and suddenly when he coughed, he had the jacket and he coughed like that. So I said, look, we use our hands, and then we use same hand when we sneeze and all. We put it on other surfaces and things like that. So we don't even in India think about it, that how and to have these etiquettes of hygiene. And so the temperature has been checked every day. So during the summertime, when I would walk from my car to the building, it was too hot, and they would take my temperature, and it used to be above 96.7 and or 97, I think, and they would ask me to rest. They said, you wait. When your temperature comes down to normal, then we let you in. So every morning, each and every child has been taken temperature before they enter their classroom. So you can imagine the kind of work the teachers have been conducting, and they are fine. They don't ever have complaints to make and things like that. We do not let the music teacher or art teachers, the other teachers of other curriculum to enter the premises. We have the same regular teachers who are coming every day. And sports activities also, it had stopped completely, but it has opened up. The volleyball classes, the swimming, all these extracurricular activities are still happening. Other activities are also taking place. Children above 10 are wearing masks, and all the time they are, hand washing, and hospitals, grocery stores, everywhere they have these stickers on every 6 feet, which is making people realize, and it's become a part of their daily life. So, talking about the mental health, children did not really much cry in our school, except that they could not see that the parents not entering the classroom. That was the only time. But when I spoke to my director, she said, no, we do not have any cases where we can say that, mentally the parents, the children were affected, So we did not have. In other branches, I think in one of the branches, there was one case where the teacher got the COVID-19. And so whichever room she would go, those 5 to 6 rooms were cordoned off completely, and we had to inform the CDC. At the same time, we have, in elementary school, these options of in-person classes and virtual classes, which are happening on regular basis. The children are going to school, they are attending, and keeping a social kind of a 6 feet distance. And but that these are the only things which are happening. And in our education, that's the way in America is. The children have been given all these choices. So they believe from that age 3, they have been given choices. You want to do this or you want to do that. So children make up their own mind. With the result, the parents are also always making choices what is good for them. So, and they're very independent. The children are pretty independent. They know how to stand and wash their hands, how to wipe. So washing hand is happening all the time. So these are the different things which we have been maintaining. And I don't think so, in children, these things really spread that fast as the adults. But the adults are well, careful, and they take precautions. Even in our kitchen, the cook has to be very careful when she's serving food. So these are the precautions we have taken. So far, I have not really heard of any mental kind of a case where the mental health has affected any child, which can be spoken about here. Yeah.
So yeah, that's really nice, Kiran. So yeah, coming back to Rupa Miss, what are the school's plan on reopening? And I mean, what kind of precautions you will be planning to take before we reopen for preschool? And do you think parents will be okay with sending their children in the school?
Okay, you have three questions in one question.
Yes.
Okay.
And we don't have much of time also now.
I can understand. I can understand. The first part is that when are the schools going to reopen? We don't know. Nobody knows. Okay. But I think it will be reopened for the higher age group first. Say for the 9th and above, the junior college, they will reopen first, the oldest in the group. And then maybe the middle age group, then the primary school or the elementary school. And then I think the pre-primary will come last in that rung, in that order. So if secondary and if higher secondary reopens in December after Diwali break, maybe primary and the middle school, the high school will reopen maybe by January. I don't see when the pre-primary is going to reopen. Okay, that is the first aspect. Aspect number two, the question is, what are we going to do? Before that, I'd like to answer the third question, that is, what would parents feel? At this stage, I feel parents are still very apprehensive. They are not sure whether there's going to be a third round, the second. I don't think India had a second round. The first round itself continued for so long.
Yeah.
Second round went into the first round. I don't know. Okay. So if there is a third round or whatever, if there is going to be some kind of an eruption and things like that again, so parents will be very apprehensive. Number three, that is the second question. Now I'm going to answer as number three. What are the precautions that we would take? We would definitely be having markers in the school. Maybe we could start by, this group of 10 who we are chatting with. Maybe they would come on one day. The second group will come on the second day, and the third group will come on the third day, and so on. So we would start maybe in phases, so that children are comfortable and we are comfortable. Now, right now, children only know that there is something called corona outside.
Right.
This corona, what is this corona? They don't know anything about this. They are imagining it as some kind of a
monster.
A monster with maybe 5 horns and big ears and big eyes and, like a giant kind of a creature waiting outside. They come out and they won't see any such creature outside. So till the time things are going to absolutely settle down for the other sections, we are not going to start anything with our kindergarten. But when we do start, it will be in phases, and it will be with complete health care of the children and the staff in mind, because they are the ones who are going to be in direct contact with each other for long durations. Maybe even if you say 2 hours or 1 hour duration, that is a long duration, and we need to take care of this, because we are dealing with a large number. We're not dealing with 20 or 30. At a time, we'll be dealing with 50 or 60 children in different classes. So we have to be very, very careful about this whole thing. So this will be thought out thoroughly. We would have a good conversation with our parents, our PTA members. Our management will take this decision. And I'm sure fathers will think thoroughly before, because for all of us, like Fatima said, children, parents and teachers and the school management want the best for the children. So whatever is good for the children, that decision will be taken care of.
Okay. So wonderful. And it's almost 7 o'clock. So I think, yeah, let's wind up in the hope that, we will be reopening soon and we will go back to our new, like old normal. And before that, I would like to show our Parisar Asha's toll-free helpline number. And as I was saying, we will be taking a month's break for this season where we had continued with this Ask the Expert series. So Shri, can you please show the toll-free number? And our helpline is open from morning 9 o'clock till night 9 o'clock, and it is all days open. Our counselors, psychologists, psychiatrists, doctors are there for you. Any issue related child or your personally, if you are feeling you need some kind of a counseling, you can feel free to contact us anytime between this 9 to 9. And we are there for your support with this mental health helpline, and it's a great initiative by Parisar Asha with the great support of Capgemini. So I take, leave of everyone, and a big thank you to all three our experts who have joined from all different places of the world. So before going, we are asking, it's a request to Fatima that we would like to hear your special song from Africa.
Well, I love to sing that. Okay, so it's just, I think any Kenyan listening to me now can join me and say, Jambo, Jambo Bwana, habari gani, mzuri sana, wageni, wakaribishwa, Kenya yetu, hakuna matata. Kenya nchi nzuri, hakuna matata. Nchi ya amani, hakuna matata.
So hakuna matata. Yes.
And for the Indians out there, for all my Indian friends out there, हर पल रही है रूप जिंदगी, छाँव है कभी कभी है रूप जिंदगी, हर पल यहाँ भर जियो, जो है समा कल हो न हो. Make the most of the moment you are in.
Enjoy your, with your families. Spend a lot of time with the valuable time with your families. Do not get upset if you're seeing them too much, or you're cooking too many times and too much food. Be like Americans, the crusaders like America. Be like them.
No, I think by now they learned the art of cooking less and making it seem more.
Very true, Rupa.
And this time may not come back. So the parents, the children should make the most of it. Absolutely. Because we were in a time where we did not know about our husband, or the husband did not know much about wife, and forget about the children. They're all the time attending tuition. So at least now with this, there have been bonding. They go together. They are on the bicycle rides. They are in the park. We are seeing more birds and less cars. So all that is going to teach lots of people good values, which we had forgotten completely. And we bring these children in this world, so might well just take care of them. This is what I believe in.
Yes, absolutely.
So
good family time.
Yeah, good family time is always valuable, and this will be always remembered. And I normally we say in life we keep learning, but I think learning is life rather than learning is life. Yeah.
Absolutely. So wonderfully said, all three of you, and thank you so much for this awesome session. God bless and take care.
Yes.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you so much, Aarti, for having us. Rupa, nice meeting you. And Fatima, stay in touch.
I will.
Subscribe to Awaaz today. Click on the bell icon for latest national and international buzzing news.